Jeez, there's nothing to eat. I mean, we've only got
strawberry, miso, jar of pickle juice, 2 milks from like 3-4 videos ago, dumpling. I forgot I had these green beans. I think this was here when we moved in. Wait, when did this expire? Cock. What is cloud bread? Pretzel, 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 stroop waffle. I like saying that. Stroop waffle. Gross. Starry, formerly known as Sierra Mist. Rice ball. I should probably eat this. Wine that I got for $4. Not bad. Egg, 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 egg. Tteokbokki. I can't possibly imagine a person who has it worse off for food than I do right now. I mean, anyone in the history of forever at any time period. I have it worse than any of them right now. I challenge you to find somebody who has it worse off than me. I bet you can't. You certainly can't. I challenge you. The Great Depression lasted from 1929 to 1939. Quick history lesson, don't worry, I'll make it quick. The Great Depression was essentially a result of having a bunch of money in the 1920s after the war, then spent the money so poorly that it caused a domino effect of debt rising, banks and companies closing, and unemployment and homelessness. See, I'm done. Wasn't so bad. But since then, things have recovered. Only $5.36 for a beefy 5-layer burrito. What's that? Voices in my head? It used to cost how much? Oh, so if things were so bad financially back then, what kind of food did they eat? So I ended up doing my research and found a bunch of dishes they had during the Depression era, and we're going to try a bunch of them. But just because the food is cheap doesn't mean it's bad, right? Right? Oh, water for dessert. True Depression cuisine.
Alright, first you want to get a 9-inch pie crust like you see right here. You're going to immediately want to fill that up with 1.5 cups of water directly into the crust. Then you want to get yourself a small bowl, buddy. I said small, that's more like it. And then pour 1 cup of sugar in there, along with 4 tablespoons of flour and a ½ teaspoon of salt. Then you're going to whisk it all together with the, you forgot the whisk, you dumb motherfucker. And whisk it all together just like so. And then pour that dry mixture directly into the pie crust. Now I know what you're thinking. Do not stir it. Don't stir it. Then you're going to take your 2 teaspoons of vanilla and drizzle it lightly all over the pie. Then you're going to take 4 tablespoons of butter sliced like this. You can place them up top of the pie however you want. I did it in a star formation. Just try to make sure they're even so it coats the whole pie.
Wowzers!
Then you're going to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Set your timer for 30 minutes, and then place your pie in the oven. Yeah, like that. After 30 minutes, you're going to go ahead and check your pie. Make sure the edges aren't too brown. You don't want it to burn, you know. And just to be safe, we'll go ahead and put some foil to make sure they don't get too dark. After that, you're going to reduce your heat to 375. Put an additional 30 minutes on the clock. Sorry, Alistair, didn't mean to take up your shot. Then after that's done, you're going to pull it out. It's still going to be kind of jiggly, kind of watery in the center. That's normal. It'll stiffen as it cools. Then after it cools down, just put it in the fridge to chill.
Hey, it came out pretty clean. Thought it might be a little runny, but no. Don't look too bad. Hey, it smells good too. Sweet. Give it a try. I mean, not bad. That's actually pretty good. It kind of it's just like a sweet custard. Dude, I'd make that again. I'd be tempted to try it with different liquids though, like different sodas, like orange soda, make kind of like an orange cream pie type of deal. I think that'd be good. Coca-Cola, stuff like that. So hey, this is a good make. I definitely recommend it. 10 out of 10. Yeah, let's go. I mean, okay, water for dessert is one thing, but vinegar? I mean, I mean, I'll try anything once, sure.
First, you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Then you're going to grab a large bowl and a whisk. We remembered it this time. That's a good boy. Then you get 1.5 cups of white sugar, 1/4 cup of melted butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1.5 tablespoon of white vinegar. And of course, 4 eggs. Probably should have cracked these beforehand, but whatever, let's speed this up. You're going to mix all of that together. Let's speed that up too, I guess. Until it's all combined like so. Come on.
Kill yourself!
You're going to get yourself one 9-inch pie shell and put the filling inside of that shell. And because we don't want to waste any of that, get yourself a nice little silicone spatula and scoop all that extra bit out. Yeah! Then go ahead and put it in the oven for 35 minutes. Then once that's done baking, just take it out to cool, let it sit for a little bit. And once it's done cooling, go ahead and let it chill in the fridge.
I mean, the presentation on this one is actually pretty good. It's got that golden crust on there. It's very appetizing looking. See how it tastes. Came out nice and clean. See. It's yellow. That's odd. Was the butter and eggs? Yeah, I did add eggs and butter. That's right. See, it's interesting. See, it's got like a slight sourness to it that I feel like could be easily replicated by like a lemon or something like that. Lemon juice, if you don't want to use vinegar. I could be wrong. But also, I kind of feel like the vinegar being like 1.5 tablespoons and the sugar being like 1.5 cups of sugar is kind of like cheating. Like, it's called Vinegar Pie, and you just like drown it in sugar. Overall, it's good. It's creamy. It differs from the water pie. It is creamier from that. It's like a creamier custard. Like if that was custard, this is just creamier custard. So yeah, I'd recommend it. I'd have to give this a 10 out of 10 also. These are bangers so far, yeah. Apparently they were eating good back then. I don't know, so far at least. But I can't help but question, like I was saying, because of all the sugar to vinegar ratio. I feel like the vinegar didn't need to be there. So does the vinegar actually do anything? I was curious. So I actually made one of a vinegar pie with no vinegar. All the same stuff, just didn't have vinegar. See, it's interesting. The one on top already, like it's not as gold. It's more brown than gold. In the one with no vinegar. So that one's already like physically a little different. Okay, maybe I underbaked this one. What the heck? So if it's bad, then maybe it's on me. Maybe the vinegar really did all that work. I feel like maybe I just underbaked this one. But it should taste the same, I imagine. Let's see. Okay. I will say, the vinegar did give it a little bit of a tang. It's like, I stand on the thought of, you could probably replace the vinegar with lemon juice or something. If you don't want to like add vinegar to it, you just have lemon juice. I feel like it would do a similar thing there with flavor. But yeah, no, there's just not much of a... This is like sugar. It's like a sugar pie. Well, without that vinegar. So the vinegar adds something. I say do the vinegar, you know, if it were me. I'd do the vinegar again. This one's not as good. It's good, but it's like... I have to give it an 8 out of 10. It's okay. See, that's weird because like the crust on top looks like it's baked more because it's browner than the other one, but it was like undercooked. So I don't know if y'all know if vinegar solidifies pie. Let me know in the comments, I guess, because that's a weird one to me. Are dandelions edible? Yes, apparently they are. I just researched that. I didn't know that before I did the research for this thing. They're healthy too. Bunch of vitamins and minerals. Apparently the greens taste a lot like arugula, and the flowers themselves can be made into wine. Pretty cool. I mean, you got YouTubers eating them. This one I had it 6 years ago, and they're still kicking. So hey, should be fine. Yeah, during the Great Depression, apparently they used to just go outside and just pick the dandelion flowers from their garden, from their yard, and all that, and they would make salad out of it. So cool. All right, let's get these dandelions prepared. Oh yeah, that's right.
So it turns out dandelions are only in season in the springtime, and it is currently September when I'm filming this video, so I cannot eat them right now. So, yep, I just had a whole yap session about dandelion salad just for me to not even be able to eat it.
I neglected my lawn for this?
Yeah, I can't eat it right now because it's not spring, but I did think it was a pretty interesting a dish. I did learn some stuff with that with dandelion, so I thought I should share that with y'all and let y'all know. So hey, I wanted to talk about it. Great Depression meals. Maybe when the spring rolls around, I'll go and try it again. So it's like September right now, so a few more months till I can do that. So we'll see. Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't like the name for this one. It's a bad name. Imagine growing up during the Great Depression and your mom says, "Hey kids, dinner's ready. Fresh goop for everybody." Oh, and dear Lord, just wait till you hear what it's made of.
First, you're going to add half a pound of ground beef to a pan. Let it brown up a bit and add some salt and pepper. Then you're going to add a cup of chopped mushrooms and a whole chopped onion to the pot. Let that brown up a bit until the onions are translucent. Get yourself an entire chopped green bell pepper, 3 stalks of celery, and a cup and a half of rice. It's supposed to be orzo, but forget it, we don't have that. Then you're going to get yourself a little baby teaspoon of the onion powder. Oh, you're going to add all that to the pot. Then you're going to go ahead and add a cube of bouillon to it, whether chicken or beef, to 2 3/4 cup of water. And then just mix all that up. Let it simmer for 2 minutes. Then after that, you're going to cover it, turn the heat down, and then let it cook for 35 minutes. And then it should look like that.
What? That's just rice and beef and peppers, onions, celery. What? When I heard the name Goop for a meal, I was expecting like a green mucus type savory dish, like a pudding, but like made with broth maybe or something like that. A literal goop. This is just something I would make like on an everyday meal, just rice, meat, and veggies. I feel like the name Goop is neither accurate nor necessary. Let's try it. See, that's delicious. I would make that any time. I would meal prep this, and I feel like I'd get everything I needed out of it. It's good. It's pretty good. I can't slap it down. It's just a solid 9 out of 10. Okay. Like I haven't been able to give any of these meals a bad rating so far. So, hey, I feel like I can come up with a better name for Goop just on the spot. Shim Sham. There, Shim Sham. This is now called Shim Sham, and it is now 200% better and more appetizing because of the new name. Yeah. Make this whole thing. I haven't had lunch yet. Should I be talking some lightly seasoned smack about a people who were going through a rough time in history? Well, it was like 100 years ago. They're probably all about dead right now, so I'm sure it's fine. So depression bread. They made a bread out of 3 different ingredients, and that was it. Normally, I think normal bread, from what I've researched, takes like some sugar and oil in it. This bread contains neither of those.
First, get yourself a big bowl, then a 5-pound sack of flour. Empty the 5-pound sack of flour into the bowl. Then go ahead and make yourself a well within that flour. Nice little crater inside of there. So you can make room for 5 tablespoons of yeast and 6 teaspoons of salt. Add 1 cup of water and then start mixing all that together until the salt and the yeast dissolves. Then once all the water is absorbed, you go ahead and add 2 more cups of water and mix that in as well. Then you're going to add 3 more cups of water and combine that till it's no longer wet. At the end of it, you're going to get something that kind of looks like this. Then you're going to go ahead and cover it and keep it in a warm spot until it doubles in size. For me, it took about 35 minutes, so just give and take on that. Just keep an eye on it. Then once it's doubled inside, just go ahead and punch it down. Once you get it punched down, just put all that dough onto a cutting board and cut it into 7 sections. You know, I probably didn't need to make 7 loaves. I probably could have done the math and cut it down, but I was like, nah, I'm not going to do all that. I ain't got time for it. Then you go ahead and let it sit and rise for 1 hour until it looks something like this. And once you're done with that, preheat the oven to 350 degrees. And once it's done preheating, stick it in the oven for 35 minutes. And you're going to want to let it bake. This is the finished product. It's got a little brown on top. I tapped it top because someone that I lived with told me that it should be kind of hollow sounding in the middle, and it was, and it turned out pretty good.
All right, beautiful loaf. Let's give this a try. A bit rough to cut through. Probably because it's been sitting in the fridge for a couple days. Get it. Rip. Probably should have cut at the end. I don't know what I was thinking there. Man. I mean, like, I know it said 3 ingredients and it was 4 because I used salt. The salt is not necessary if you don't want to use that. But I feel like it did good stuff for the flavor of the bread. I think it turned out pretty good. And I'm not going to lie to you. That video is from the past. I'm sure you figured that out already. So, pretty much, I made 7 loaves of bread. And this is the final loaf. I set it aside because it went so dang fast. I lived with 3 other people, and they ate that stuff up. One of the loaves went bad, I'll be honest with you. But the rest of them, they ate pretty quickly. I was surprised. They liked it, and I think it's pretty good, too. So, yeah. Make this at home. What I showed you to make, that's all it takes to make it. Pretty simple enough. Recommend it. But it's just regular bread altogether. I'd probably give it like, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It's good. It's very good. So yeah, this next one I'm not too sure about. I have my thoughts, but I'll make it first before I judge it. Okay, so yeah, I don't even need a back to the past video of making this. I can just make this right now. It's that simple. So you're just gonna add some coffee to a bowl. Doesn't really matter the amount. Some creamer. It didn't specify. I feel like a little bit of sweet cream creamer is fine. That's what I'm gonna use. Good enough. Mix, mix. And then, for some reason, you're gonna add bread to the mixture. So we're gonna use some of this depression bread to do that. Very, very cool, I suppose. Get it all soaked in there, I suppose. Try it. That's what we're here for. So I don't understand the thought process on this one. You have coffee and you have bread. I would have those things separately, but for some reason, some of them decided it needed to go together in the same bowl. I guess they were just coming up with whatever they could back then, but as you saw, there were some perfectly good options beforehand. So why do this? I don't know. I understand it. I don't think it needs to exist. I gotta give it like a 3 out of 10. It's so pointless. The bread does not do anything for the coffee. The coffee doesn't do anything for the bread. Just kind of soaks it up and make it all soggy and soft. It's not pleasant. So 3 out of 10. That's what we're giving it. It's like a shitty tiramisu. Yeah. A shitty tiramisu. Chip beef on toast, also known as shit on a shingle. That bad, huh? Hopefully that's not a sign of bad things to come.
First, you're going to add 3 tablespoons of butter to a pan and melt it down. Then you're going to add a 1/4 cup of flour to the mix. Mix it up slowly to go ahead and make yourself a nice little roux. Then after that, you're going to slowly mix in 2 cups of milk. Not all at the same time, it'll ruin it. Don't laugh at that. The pun was not intentional. Then after that, you're going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt and pepper to taste and 4 ounces of chopped dried beef. Then you're going to stir it in until you get something that looks like that. Put it on top of 2 pieces of toast, and that's it.
I mean, honestly, the presentation could be way worse. It's really not that bad. You know? It just looks like a poor man's biscuits and sausage gravy. You know? Let's try it. I mean, that's not a bad option. You know, if you like biscuits and gravy and you just want something cheap, go for this. You could do that dry beef that I got. That Armour sells their brand of dry beef. They also got budding. You can get 2 packs of budding. Make this easily enough. I think it's cheaper than the Armour if I remember correctly. So I would say if you want to do something cheap, you want to make sausage or whatever, just do that. Cut it up and mix it in with the gravy that you make. I think it's pretty good on toast. Might be better on biscuits. Try it out for yourself. But overall, it's not a bad option. I think it's pretty good. This is something I could eat for breakfast. I wouldn't be upset if someone gave this to me. Hey. A little salty, though. I think that's just the beef being the beef. Maybe don't add salt to the gravy if you want to. If you feel like it's too salty, do what you want. But overall, not bad. So I'd probably give this like an 8 out of 10. It's good. Now look, overall, a lot of these recipes were pretty good. I could make majority of these all over again, except for the bread soup, the coffee soup, whatever that was. Why would anyone ever make that? Just scrap that idea. You have better options. But everything else was very good. What absolutely would do again. Now, I do acknowledge I did not come from the Great Depression time, so it's pretty easy for me to just visit this food casually and just say, oh, it's pretty good, it's great. But imagine having to eat this type of food for like 10 years in a row. You just grow up on this type of stuff. No access to like any of the snacks and comfort food you get from your supermarket or the fast food you get from McDonald's or I don't know, Burger King. There's probably a better option than Burger King. I should make a Burger King video. Everybody talks shit about that restaurant. And I really do respect the creativity that went into just stretching these small amounts of limited ingredients, not only for themselves, but for their family as well. I have a lot of respect for that. And perhaps there's some people seeing this video and thinking, oh, he made a comment I didn't appreciate. How could he understand what it's like to be back in these times? You shouldn't make fun of them in the slightest or whatever. I'm not really making fun of them, but I cracked a thing or two. Did I? I don't remember. Did I do that in the video? I forget. But on the other hand, you guys say I'm being rude and savage. I have no choice but to, agree with you guys. Because it's September right now when I'm filming this. And I remember those 9/11 memes y'all are passing around. You guys are brutal. Personally, I like this one here where Bin Laden is shooting the Twin Towers with his imaginary technique, 9/11. Sure. And oh, wow, what's Zorro doing here? Oh, and then there's this one. Oh, this one too. Oh, let's not forget about this one also.